So, how will the UK sanctions and export control regime change in 2021? As the UK exits the European Union, regardless of whether there's a trade deal, the sanctions and export control regime of the UK, and to some extent also the EU, will undergo a fundamental transformation. As of 1st of January 2021, the current UK sanctions implementing EU sanctions will be replaced by the new UK sanctions programs that have been adopted under the UK Sanctions and Anti-Money Laundering Act. The new UK sanctions laws have been published already, and they confirm that the EU sanctions will, in substance, broadly be carried over. However, there will be important differences to take into account as of 2021. The key changes involve what I'd refer to as the 3 Ds: definitions, designations, and divergence. In relation to definitions, the UK has spent considerable effort translating EU sanctions into UK law. Therefore, some of the key definitions will differ between the EU and the UK regimes, and this will have an impact on how the sanctions apply and how they are enforced. The key point here is that you can assume that the position is the same under EU and UK sanctions. You need to check it in detail. On designations, the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office will have broad responsibility for establishing the UK sanctions policy, and they will publish designations on the UK sanctions list. This is in relation to a wide variety of financial measures, travel bans, trade-related rules, and transport restrictions. As the EU and UK foreign policy priorities may diverge, including on precise criteria for listings, there will be differences in which persons and entities are listed. Which brings us to the 3rd D, divergence. Right now, the UK sanctions regime does not diverge a great deal from the EU regime, but it will be an area to watch. The UK has already shown a more focused approach when it comes to human rights-related sanctions, also known as the Magnitsky sanctions. Some future EU-UK divergence would also be expected in relation to certain third countries like Iran, Russia, and Belarus, for example. Moving to export controls. As of 2021, EU-UK movement of so-called dual-use items will no longer be treated as intra-EU transfers, but rather as third-country exports. Both the EU and the UK will have general licenses in place to allow EU-UK movement of a vast majority of dual-use items. This is provided that certain conditions, such as potential registration requirements, are met. Still, exporters with existing licenses for EU and UK export of dual-use items need to know that they may need to replace these licenses, as a UK-issued license will no longer be valid for export of items out of the EU and vice versa. As before, various UK authorities, the UK Export Control Joint Unit, HM Treasury's Office of Financial Sanctions Implementation, which is also known as OFSI, the Department of International Trade, and the Department of Transport in the UK will be responsible for issuing licenses under the UK sanctions and export control regime. They will need to follow adjusted policies and conditions under the new UK regime, and this may become more and more apparent as that starts to diverge from the EU regime in the future.